Hello, it's Kim. Thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to look at a plant that I bought last spring, a flowering maple. It's also called Chinese lantern, Chinese bellflower. Abutilon is its scientific name, and it is such a pretty house plant. Now, I can't speak for the outdoor plant, the shrub that's planted in the yard in the more temperate zones than I am. I'm just speaking it as a house plant that I've kept inside, first on the screen porch all summer, but I'm bringing it inside for the winter. But this is what it looked like back when I first got it. So much tinier than what it has grown into. But it is just, I don't know, 5 times the size. And I have brought it in off the screen porch, and I'm keeping it in, it's an eastern facing window. Now at the time I took this little short segment, it was beginning to bud pretty heavily because the flowers just kind of come in waves. It buds real heavily. The buds are so pretty, they're almost as pretty as the flower itself. Now you can put it in full sun outside or part shade if you're in very hot. It just needs good drainage, and it likes to be kept watered. It surprises me how much water it takes. But you can notice the leaves start to droop just a little, and that lets you know that it needs a little bit of water. And if you have nice, loose, fluffy soil, you're going to be watering it quite a bit. Now I've kept mine here in this eastern facing window, and that seems to work just fine for it. Now I do fertilize mine. I have that Schultz fertilizer that you mix in and put it in with every watering. And I did brace mine with one of those tomato stake like things. I just put it down into the flower pot. But it has done real well. The little dangling, almost nut-shaped little buds, just kind of start to split open and show that real bright crimson red orange. It just looks wonderful. I'm really pleased with this. It would probably do beautifully as a hanging basket, but right now I just have it in a specimen plant in the window. Now I've got a few more blooming today. A lot of the buds have opened, and I hope this video will show. I'm kind of a bit against the morning sun right now, but we have a lot of open buds. You can see how pretty those are and how colorful. They're just all sprinkled near all the branch tips, and they look wonderful. Let me come around on this side. You see how this back side has the sepals all around the edges. But I think it looks wonderful. And I keep it right here in the sunlight, so it gets a lot of the morning sun. This is east, and the sun will come up over there. So that's my flowering maple, and I really think it's a wonderful plant. So far this has bloomed its little heart out all summer long, and it looks like I have tons more that are going to try to bloom. Look at that. It does look a lot like a hibiscus. Let me move that leaf. It's a lot like hibiscus. And the little pollen drops off, and you'll see a dusting of it on some of the leaves. But it's a gorgeous plant. I really enjoy it. Now, you can tell when it needs to be watered. Let me look. Here's a leaf right here. This leaf. You can see it doesn't stand out even and flat. It kind of starts to droop, and that's a signal that it does need to be watered. So I just put a lot of water in it, and then you see the leaves all level right back out. The flowers drop here into the bottom or onto the table, and I have to pull them out because I think that makes insects want to attack your plant, maybe draws fungus gnats. And I have that metal frame like I showed you before around it to kind of hold it up. But I'm going to be pinching off tops and trying to root some more, because I'd like to have some more of this, and I would even like some more colors. But I think that's a gorgeous plant. So let me see what we can do to get a root cutting. Now let's get some root cuttings here in the plant. I'm going to try and search out a few of the stems that maybe have less buds or less flowers. Even though it's flowering so much all the way around, that may be hard to do. But I think this one has not too many, and so I'll try that one. And then this one, it still has a few more flowers, but I think that'll work. Now I am going to try one in water and one in soil, so that's all I need for this particular experiment. Now down here I have both of my pieces, and I've prepped a little bit of water in a bottle, and I've got a little planter, a small planter, just big enough for this to use. It does have drainage, and I got out my rooting hormone or rooting powder, and I am going to put that on both in the water and in the soil. So just so that my plant can have the best, the best attempt, I'm going to, of course, remove the leaves for the spots that will be under the water or under the soil, but I'm also going to cut off the flowers and the buds so that the plant won't, use all of its energy to try to keep the flowering going on and the buds alive. So this one, there are several nodes there. You can see where leaves and branches start out. So that should be where roots should form. So I'll put in a little bit of the rooting powder, and then I'll just stick it in that water and set it up on the shelf and see what happens. I don't know which will be the best way to do it, but this is my attempt. I'm going to do the same to this section, just pull all the leaves and branches. Now I have fairly delicate branches and stems on this one, and so they can just kind of snap off real easily. Those flowers are so gorgeous. I love them. But again, I'm going to trim all the pretty buds and all of the extra flowers off. Hopefully I'm not sacrificing all these pretty things for these just to rot, but will not know. I would desperately love to have some more of these around the house and blooming all winter. I think it would be gorgeous. So we'll put it in the rooting hormone again, and then I'll just poke a hole in this soil, and we'll see what will happen with this particular cutting. One's got the 3 leaves, one's got the 2, so we'll see which does better, the water or the soil. Let's hope they both at least stay alive for a while. But thanks for joining me today, and we'll see what we can do. We'll just wait for the roots to form, and I'll do a follow-up video.